Slime everybody! I am Corvus Bruxo Luggenikos and this is Starting on Solitary, and today we're here to talk about the languages that we use in our spiritual practices, and if we have one in our Book of Shadows or Grimoire. I don't have a Book of Shadow or Grimoire or Book of Mirrors or anything that can be similar. So it's not something that I put into that particularly, but I do use different languages in my practice for different purposes, and I'm gonna try to briefly explain them now. The official language here, well, we have different local official languages, but the official language for the whole country is Spanish, of course. And of course, in all of my workings, rituals, prayers, the main language is Spanish. Now, I do lots of ancestor workings and ancestor worship. So, language is one of the most expressive phenomena within a culture or within a cultural community or an ethnicity. It is very important, it is very you can perceive the origins of a person just by listening to the way they speak, not only the language but also the dialectal variations, the accent, everything. So this is a way to connect with our ancestry that is very powerful, and that's why I work with it. So when I am in my Orthodox religion, I use Celtiberica. Celtiberica is the name that we give to, or that a group of Brazilian people that were interested in the ancient Lusitania and Galaetia, to their project of reconstructing ancient Celtiberian language. So this is a remade language based on what we know of the historical language itself. So they have developed based on what we know of this language, or in comparison with what we know of other Celtic languages. They have developed a way to a conjugation for the verbs. It was a language with cases, and it had declension, so they developed a declension for different type of words. They developed different categories of words and declension types. So basically, it's an attempt to speak something that may sound similar to what was spoken here during the Iron Age in the Iberian Peninsula, and that's something that I use in my religion and even in my daily life. When I say Slania is a Gaulish name that some people believe it means health. When I say Dei voi to me, which I sometimes do, it means literally the gods to you in plural, and it's a way in which I say bye, wishing that the gods go to you or with you in your departure. I used to hail the gods saying Slaniu Dei or Slania Dei, which means hail to thee, or I salute you and the name of the God. Sometimes when I share the offering, because of the nature of the ritual, I say Estoutai maketi, totoutai anketi, and that means something like from the tribe it comes, to the tribe it goes. So yeah, this Celtiberica language is very important in my religion particularly. But I also do Latin. I use Latin because my language, Spanish, comes from different sources, but mainly from vulgar Latin. So in magical workings that are to Roman deities or that are not to Celtic deities, I may use the little I know of Latin, and I'm learning every day more and more. And last but not least, as I said, in Spain there are like different local languages. Some are official along with Spanish, some are not. One of those languages is Asturian language, is the language that, or Astur-Leonese, it's called now, and it's the language that was spoken from kind of medieval times to now, that is kind of dying out, and it's a shame, in the regions or the autonomous communities of Asturias and León, and some rare parts of North Portugal as well. And this language is a language that my grandfather on my mother's side sometimes spoke when he was living still. Even Asturian people that don't speak Asturian are used to mixing Asturian words in their Spanish. But sometimes I love some Asturian, and especially if I'm working with my Asturian ancestors or my northern ancestors, particularly I would like to look how it would be said in Asturian language and use some sentences in Asturian, because I don't speak Asturian as well. But it's a way to connect with my ancestors from that area, or even when I am taking some folk custom from that area, I use the Asturian sentence that they use. I don't translate it. It's a fantastic way to connect with my ancestors, and languages in general are a fantastic way to connect with ancestors and with our ancestry, our lost ancestry. So these are like the 4 main languages that I use in my practice, and if I one day have a grimoire, I will probably use them in the grimoire, but so far that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, Spanish is my main language. I use it most of the time, and then in Celtiberian worship and ritual, I use Celtiberica, which is an effort of reconstructed Celtiberian. And then for magical workings, I use Latin. It's very popular to use Latin in magical workings, and also it connects me with my Roman ancestors who used vulgar Latin in this land a long time ago, and Asturian language to connect with my northern ancestors, which were mainly Asturian, most of them. The ones that weren't, they were Basque, but Basque is hell a lot of difficult to learn. It's completely different to any Indo-European language that we know or that I know. So the words are completely different. Experts don't even know from which ancient language family it comes. Some say it's Indo-European, some say it's not, some say it's African, some say, I don't know, the theories are countless and it's very difficult. So I want to learn Basque someday, but it's so difficult to learn, and I'm in a small town right now. I can't learn. There aren't Basque people here that can teach me. So when I move to a bigger city, maybe I look for someone who teaches me Basque language, but now it's not possible. But these are the 4 main languages that they use, especially Spanish, of course. And I don't know, if you have any questions, you can tell me in the comments down below, or if you're curious about any of these languages, or because you have ancestors or of any of those areas that I mentioned, whatever, you can tell me in the comments down below. I don't have much more to say, so I will be going. I need a nap ASAP. And yeah, we'll see each other next week, next Wednesday particularly. This is a super interesting topic, and I think you can grasp the happiness of being addressing this topic, and I hope that you're interested in this. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see each other next Wednesday. Bye.